Are you somebody that's an overgiver that hesitates when it's your turn to take something? Are you somebody that's always there to support people, to support them financially, emotionally, in whichever way somebody demands, but the same person is not there for you when you need it? Are you also somebody that feels unworthy of love, that you yourself push away anything that's good in your life and accept abuse very easily? If you resonated with any of the points that I just stated, then you may be a victim of filial piety. Filial piety refers to having undying reverence, respect, and obedience towards our superiors, elders. It could be parents, grandparents, teachers, anyone we look up to, authority. But it takes a negative turn when any of these authorities are abusing us or are suppressing us in any way, and we still have to be obedient to them. Concept is mostly prominent in East Asian and South Asian countries where your elders are everything. Whatever your father or mother says, it goes. Whatever your elder sibling says, it goes. And if you question their suggestions, their advice, then you are a bad child. And no matter if this choice or this action is against your wishes, against your higher good, you are still supposed to follow their teachings because you're not supposed to question it. Now, it's one thing if the parent is actually advising the child in good faith, having the greatest and highest good of the child in their mind. It's another when the parent tries to live through their child, asking them to do the degree of their choice because they wanted to do that when they were younger. And they wanted to see their child to become an engineer or doctor or a lawyer or whatever they wanted to do themselves. They couldn't do it. So now they want their child to do it because they're trying to live through them. Sometimes the parent is just straight up toxic. They just want their child to marry the person that they approve of. Nobody from outside caste, nobody from outside of their religion, nobody from outside of their state, nobody from outside of their country. They want the child to marry the person that they approve of and nobody else. They do not give a rat's ass about the child's own aspirations, the child's own specifications about a person, the child's own standards about a person. They want their children to marry who they want. At this point, we should really stop and think if our parents are really there to support us, or are they here to live through us, to control every aspect of our life, and not let us live independently. Now, let's talk about the main topic of today's video. Is your mother really the epitome of nurture and love and motherhood? Or is she just a narcissistic abuser that's controlling you in the name of motherhood? Now, I'll be going over a bunch of points. Let me know if it resonates. If it does, then you're dealing with a narcissistic mother. Is your mother extremely critical of your actions? Is she always saying something bad about you, your character, your choices? Is she extremely critical of how you dress? Or if you try to dress a little like appealing for yourself, she criticizes that part. This is for the ladies, okay? If you apply lipstick, she has a problem with that. If you apply nail paint, she has a problem with that. If you open your hair, she has a problem with that. If you wear tight jeans, she has a problem with that. This is controlling your outward appearance so you don't outshine, you don't look better, and you don't develop that self esteem that she's trying so hard to tear apart and feel better about herself. Was she always criticizing you in front of people? She doesn't help me, he doesn't help me. She's like this, she's like that, she doesn't study enough, she doesn't perform enough. While you are performing well, while you're doing multiple things at once, while you're good at curricular activities, while you're doing sports, while you're good at studies, she's still criticizing you in front of people for not doing the dishes. She's still criticizing you for not cooking. even when you were really young to learn these things and perform? Is she extremely critical with her words, using curse words to define you, calling you a bitch, calling you a dog, something really nasty that a child should not be hearing, and something that, and for mistakes that were really small and could be just forgiven? So she must have been doing these things since you were a child, and you thought this was how children were raised. This is how mothers are everywhere. And since she's your elder, she has the rights to cuss at you. She has the rights to yell at you. She has the rights to beat you even for the smallest of mistakes that you didn't deserve the beating for. Was she overly critical of you? Was she always comparing you with other kids at your school, other kids in your colony, comparing your marks with them, comparing how intelligent they were? I mean, saying how the other kids were really intelligent and overachieving while you were being this loser in life, you were not performing enough. All these things made you really inadequate, and there was a lingering feeling of unworthiness, like you didn't achieve enough, you didn't perform enough. You were this overperforming child that did everything and got nothing in return. And this will reflect in your everyday relationship where you'll be dating people whom you give and give your love, your money, your care, and they give nothing in return. And you call it love, where you will be giving to your friends your time, your energy. You'll be spending a lot of time on them, a lot of money on them, and they give nothing in return. They mock you. Okay. They're mocking you behind your back. You know they bitch behind your back, and you're still there because you think that's friendship. So, this is how a narcissistic mother, an abuse of a narcissistic parent, abuses you in real life, where you don't know what real love is. You just go about meeting people, getting abused, and call it life. That's how you get abused in real life. Is she somebody who overly criticizes your achievements as well? Like, if you're earning well in life, if you're living in a good place, she still criticizes and calls you somebody who's not still good enough. She says things like, oh, how much do you even earn? Where do you even live? Who do you think you are? You don't even look that great. What do you even wear? You don't know how to do things. She tells you you are only successful because they were there to help you, they were there to educate you. You are only successful because your husband is now there for you. You are only successful because your wife is there for you. You are only successful because your elder sibling helped you. You are never successful on your own. Somebody helped you. And this is the idea that your mother imbibed in you. She never gave you the validation that you wanted. So you grew up unworthy. You thought you don't deserve love, you don't deserve respect, and you are the first one to submit to authority. You are the first one to say sorry. You're always sorry for something. You're always feeling unworthy. You're always feeling like you deserve yellings. You always feel like you should be the first one that should be punished in a room full of people. She also doesn't like it when you're living free and you're not being controlled by her. She wants you to be close to her, like living in her vicinity so she can control you. And she'll try to guilt trip you into that. She'll tell you that, she misses you too much, that you are a bad child for living away from your parent, that you didn't do enough for your parent, and that she raised you, she educated you, she fed you, and you are this ungrateful child that you are. Now that you're finally living for yourself, how dare you live for yourself? Why are you not serving me anymore? Why am I not able to control you anymore? So she'll guilt trip you into those things. She'll make you feel bad for spending on yourself. She'll make you feel, even with your own money, she'll make you feel bad for spending on yourself, for living your life, for finally being free, for exercising your own choices for yourself. She'll make you feel guilty for those things. She'll call you a bad child. She must have also put ideas into your head that if you did not listen to your mom or your parent, you're a bad kid. If you just did what you wanted to do, you are a bad child. So these ideas were always imbibed in you since childhood. That if you married, somebody of your choice, you're a bad child. People who marry people of their choice, who get into love marriages instead of arranged marriages, are horrible people. They get abused by their husbands or their wives. So they're putting all these, so she's putting all these fears in your head so you don't slip away from her control. If you are resonating so far, your mother is a narcissistic mother. And a narcissistic person deserves to be cut off from your life because they'll keep sucking on your energy. They'll keep sucking on your life. They'll keep asking you to downgrade for them to feel better because they're in constant competition with you. They can't see you succeed because it hurts their own ego because they couldn't achieve things in their life. So they want to constantly tug at you to drain you financially, emotionally, and to see you down so they can come in the picture and say, see, if you were with me, you wouldn't be facing all these problems. If you were with, this is a classic narcissistic move, okay? They'll do everything to drain you of emotions, finances, everything. And they'll show up as a helper, as a supporter. And they'll guilt trip you into thinking that things like this, something bad would not have happened if you were there with them, if they were there with you to support you. But in fact, they are the ones who are draining you. They are the ones who are draining your finances, your emotional stability, and everything. Say you finally learned your lesson and you started standing up for yourself. You started telling her, you know what, I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm going to live my life how I want. And I am not listening to you. I am here to respect you and your choices and your advices. But I should also cater to my own needs, my own emotional needs, my own financial needs, and what I want in my life. Once you take a stand for yourself, this mother would start yelling at you, start guilt tripping you, and start calling you a bad child. She would also go as far as telling you that you are dead to her and that you are no longer their child. So you run back to her saying that please don't disconnect with me. Please don't disown me. I will be there for you. And this is how they control you. Also, the only time this mother praises you is when she wants to feel like that she's the one who raised you to be this good. Say you're doing great in your life, you're finally financially stable, you married the right person, and whatever. Okay, you're doing well. She will praise you to other people to say that, look, my daughter is here, look, my son in law is here, look, my son is here, to feel better about herself. That she's the one who got you to that place and not you. Again, to disregard your own achievements and to take your achievements and call it her own. To feel better about herself. To feel better about herself in your achievements. Now, this will sound a little harsh, but the only way to survive somebody who is narcissistic towards you, first of all, these people are not good for your mental health, your financial health, and any health of any sort. They're not good for you. They'll keep draining you of energy. They'll keep criticizing you. You'll keep feeling unworthy. You'll keep making the wrong choices in life. And it is because of these people, and you don't want to live a life of unworthiness all your life trying to please your abusers, the very people who made you feel unworthy. The only solution to this situation is to cut this person off. And this is where the the unworthy child not the unworthy child, the ungrateful child comes in the picture. Once you cut your mother off, a lot of people will not know why you're doing that. So they'll call you an ungrateful child, somebody who is not catering to their parents, even though your parents raised you. And this comes from the concept filial piety, where you're expected to cater your parents, to be obedient to your parents, to be respectful no matter what kind of abuse they do on you. No matter if they're physically abusive, mentally abusive, verbally abusive, financially abusive, they can suck your soul and still are entitled to you serving them. This is the toxic side of filial piety, and we should be talking about it. Okay. If you have somebody like that in your life, it could be any of your parent, your sibling, your friend. It could be narcissist, could be any person in your life. But this video was specifically dedicated to a narcissistic mother. And if you have somebody like that, if this video resonated with you throughout, then you have to cut her off now to actually live a good life for yourself. And this will be for the benefit of both you and your mother. She needs to discover her own she needs to discover her own happiness through herself, not live through you. You have a life to live on your own. And it's sad that parents like that exist and then they suck the life out of their child in the name of love. Hopefully, this video made sense, and I hope you live a good life and that you stand up to abuse and not fall into the trap of society, the toxic society that Eastern societies are. Okay, all the best, and I'll see you again. Bye bye.